About Social Security, Medicare. Well, let me say this. If that's your dream, I'm your nightmare. By the way, that may be redundant. I think they already think I am. But if anyone tries to cut Social Security, we're going to stop it. If anyone tries to cut Medicare, we're going to stop it. And look,
payments are being processed right now. Many of the low-income households will see an automatic deposit for a bonus inflation check soon. Several states have already approved extra stimulus money, and you may be eligible for at least $500. Here's how to get your $500 stimulus check. It's fair to say that 2022 was a tough year. Now, there are many reasons that lawmakers have pointed to, including inflation, for why things are just so bad. Higher living costs force many people to dip into their savings account and take withdrawals to cover basic needs. A lot of people also have to rack up balances on credit cards to keep up with essential bills. Fortunately, some states have stepped up to answer the call of residents who are dealing with continuous increases in the cost of living. Many states, due to have excess funding in their budgets, have decided to send out stimulus payments, in the absence of federal aid, that is. At this point, a large number of states are issuing stimulus checks this year to help their residents. For instance, the Maine governor announced that the first round of $450 energy relief payments are being mailed to the Mainers. Yeah, you're going to get stimulus checks if you live in that state. So be prepared for that stimulus payment. Be sure to get that money that you need. Be sure to get the money that you deserve and qualify for. Folks, I also want to add on to this. The governor said that high energy prices have made staying warm more difficult for the families, and beginning soon, people will start to receive $450, which will help ease the burden of increased energy costs. In addition to this $450 plan, Governor Mills has an energy relief plan, which includes the additional heating, energy, and housing. $40 million is allocated to this federal low-income assistance program. The program says money is going to go to people who, like fuel vendors, who are going to get paid throughout the season. She also passed a $21 million bolster to help the Emergency Housing Relief Fund to support emergency housing communities all across the state. Even people in the state of South Carolina are expected to get this stimulus cash. What I mean by this is that it's an $800 rebate just for you, and the payments are currently being issued by the South Carolina Department of Revenue. On an announcement, the agency said it is sending the payments to eligible taxpayers who filed a 2021 individual income tax return. Rebates are being issued by either direct deposit or mailed paper checks. If you filed by October 17, you can check the status of your rebate online. Get that stimulus money that you deserve, folks. It's coming very soon, because your rebate amount is calculated according to your tax liability, up to $800 just for you. $800 maximum if you haven't filed your return. You can still do so and qualify for the $800 rebate. For those who file their returns from October, well, it's through February 15, 2023. Rebates will be issued in March of 2023. And the state of Pennsylvania also approved a payment of up to $650 last year. It's a lot of stimulus cash that's going around to the people that need it the most. New Jersey, for instance, is also sending out stimulus funds in the form of a property tax rebate as well. Homeowners earn up to $150,000, while you get $1,500 in rebates, while those earning up to $150,000 and plus that will get up to $1,000. So as we could see, at least we're getting the stimulus payments that people need, folks. It's great. We have a ton of news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI and SSDI. Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. We have a ton of news just for you, so be sure to continue watching this video. First of all, people are considering a new bill just for us, everybody. It's a lot of stimulus cash. Considering a new bill that would finally address Social Security.
Sorry, I think if you look at our, maybe the closest economies and political systems would be the countries of Western Europe and Canada. Advanced economy countries like that, they're all having the highest inflation they've had in a very long time. Places like Germany, which is famously, inflation averse.
So monthly stimulus payments may be automatically deposited for you. Lawmakers across the nation have officially set up new relief programs. The more stimulus money you can receive right now would greatly help so many people, so I believe President Biden should actually get the job done and send out stimulus checks as soon as possible. Now, the nearly $1 trillion in federal relief sent to U.S. households through 3 stimulus checks is credited with reducing poverty and helping millions of families weather the crisis. But with the crisis still affecting millions of people in the nation, many lawmakers are deciding to take action on this with their own form of stimulus payments. States are tapping into their own stimulus funds to help specific residents, like low-income households of teachers, or even teachers, with direct aid reaching more millions of people this year. According to recent census survey data, about 1 in 4 households across the country struggled to pay their household expenses in the previous week. So in an effort to help Americans from any future recessions, lawmakers in the Senate and the White House are now considering passing automatic checks for the next time the economy takes another significant dip. The Economic Security Project has officially held a discussion with 50 staff members from the Senate Finance Committee on automatic stabilizers. This would tie the issuance of expanded unemployment payments and stimulus checks to the state of the economy, therefore helping many people out. Plus, one economist told CNN putting in place these kinds of triggers would smooth out the recovery and no one is left at the mercy of Washington gridlock in future recessions. So she supports recurring stimulus check. Other lawmakers are considering universal basic income, which is a set of recurring payments that individuals get from the government. These can be paid out every month and several times a year or even just once annually. Democratic Representatives Rashida Tlaib and Pramila Jayapal have introduced legislation that would provide everyone in the country with $2,000 every single month. And that's $1,000 per month for a year. For instance, the ABC Act is going to finance the payments with an unconventional plan that would direct the Treasury Department to use its legal authority to mint as many as 1 trillion platinum coins as necessary to fund the legislation. Pramila Jayapal said people don't only need relief, they need stability, certainty, and predictability. And the ABC Act delivers them just that.
Has high inflation. Now, ours is a little higher. Our economy is now well above the level of output that we were at before the pandemic. If you just look at the output an economy had before the pandemic to where it is now, we're way above that, and other countries are kind of just getting back to that level. So we've just had a stronger recovery, and that is because of monetary policy and fiscal policy and also just vaccines and a whole range of factors. So our inflation is definitely, of the advanced economies, ours is higher generally. We're going through the same process that the Bank of England and other central banks are going through, which is raising rates and trying to get inflation back under control. Very committed to doing that. It's a common problem. Again, ours is worse because our inflation is higher, largely because our economy is that much stronger.
And I know you have a series of meetings and possible rate hikes. You talked about in 2 weeks, likely the 25 basis points increase. For my constituents, my consumers, what impact will they begin to see with the small incremental rate hikes?
So it's a little bit like the rate hikes that took place in the first part of this century. Not the rate hikes that took place after the global financial crisis were much slower. They were every other meeting, but the cycle before that, the rate hikes at consecutive meetings. So what you feel is these are fairly small rate increases, 1/4 of a percentage point every 7 weeks.